Welcome to the Good Rookies podcast. My name's Faheem.
And my name is Nelly J, y'all. And we are Good Rookies.
That's right.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Good Tuesday. And guess what? It's episode 79.
79.
79, y'all. Like, first of all, y'all, we're so thankful and grateful for such an amazing community we've built. But guys, on the podcast today, we have someone that is an original, a creator, content creator, but who also is truly for the culture. And I cannot wait to highlight him more and for the culture. Faheem, please introduce who we got.
Well, it's fitting that it's Black History Month, or as I like to call it, Black and Beyond.
Black and Beyond, yes.
That we do have somebody whose culture doesn't stop within the month of February, but continues on every month, going strong and wearing it proud on his shoulder. Let's welcome Gio, No.1 Blogga, No.1 Ghana Blogga, to the podcast today.
Gio.
Na.
Yo, that's a whole Raptor fan club sound off. Y'all don't know. If you don't know, now you know. Gio, man, how are you doing today, brother?
I'm doing great, honestly. Great vibes. I really appreciate you guys having me on the Good Rookies podcast. I feel like it's an honor to be in with you guys because I've watched several episodes and I just love how you guys do things and how organized you are, but also at the same time, how beautiful, y'all put news together.
Oh my gosh, Gio, I didn't expect that from you at all. I'm like, oh, okay, shoot.
Right out the gate, we're getting compliments. Yo, appreciate that, man.
We really do. Honestly, we do for the people. Really, that's how we do. So Gio, a lot has been happening, right now for the culture in this month, and we just had the first Black female or woman hockey player get a gold medal in hockey. One of the nurses. So for those who don't know, we have a very epic family that I don't think we really ever admire or compliment Faheem. So the nurse family, for those who don't know, they got 3 children that are all professional players in their sport. We got Kia Nurse, that's right. She has 2 siblings. Darnell Nurse, who plays for the Oilers, and Sarah Nurse, who just won a gold medal last night for the women's hockey team. She has the most, I think, goals for Canadian hockey. Like she's epic. So we have 3 nurses, siblings, that are actually like somewhat GOATs in Canada for sports, and they're Black. So how y'all feel about this? And were you aware?
So I was aware, but when you're talking about GOATs, think about the combination. I think that's probably the first time on the planet that you have one who's a professional basketball player and the other who's a professional hockey player. That mix is just wild.
Well, 2, because the sister, the Sarah Nurse, who's a hockey player too. Kia is basketball and the brother Darnell is hockey. So that's 3 siblings.
Let me clarify. The one who scored the goal for the Olympics, she's a professional hockey player? Because I know they started the women's league. She plays in that women's league also.
Yes. And she's a pro. Yeah. It was crazy that she actually had an injury last year, came back, and the very first game, she scored a goal. Like, she was off the gate. So that's Sarah Nurse. And she's the first Black woman to ever win a gold medal, as it is, in hockey. So, Gio, what's your thoughts on this story and this family in Canada?
Honestly, it's beautiful because, again, yes, I am a blogger. There's a lot of things that I actually do view that the thing is doesn't necessarily come out in my blogging. Funny enough, I don't remember which Olympics. I actually went under the alias Canuck Blogger, and I literally listed all the medals that Canada did win. So it was literally like an alert piece all the way down to when Canada was participating. But let's get back to the conversation. The fact of the matter is, yes, I know about, these three very special athletes. Because funny enough, the Nurse family, actually, I don't remember who's married to such, but remember, former NFL player, quarterback for the Philly Eagles, Donovan McNabb, is actually their uncle.
What?
If you
Yes.
didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
did not
He's
know
married to
that.
the aunt.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Mhm.
This is just talent everywhere. Wow. See, things you
Mhm.
learn. But you know what? I want to kind of highlight them a little bit because I've heard of each, but I never put it together. They're all related. I'm like, yeah, I know Sarah Nurse. She's cool.
Mhm.
Because we actually picked her up last year and she commented saying thank you. I know Kia
Mhm.
Nurse, but I didn't know that
Mhm.
they're related. Like it didn't put one and one,
Mhm.
1 and 1 to one plus one is two, right? So, anyways, big up to the
Mhm.
Nurse family. Faheem, what's your thoughts on this family and the fact that they're kind of breaking history?
Well, like I mentioned before, I just really think them breaking history is like it's Black history in the present, and we have to
Mm-hmm.
celebrate it.
Yes.
Um, Combination between the two of sports is that's what really drives me most. I'm actually, as you were speaking, I was thinking, you know what family, like there's always talented families out there.
Yes.
What family ranks up there? Like, you know what I'm saying? Any ideas? I'll throw it out real quick before we transition out. Any ideas of any families out there? Go ahead, Gio. Looks like you might have
Don't
one.
forget the Subban family because they have all three brothers in the
Oh,
NHL.
right.
Subban,
Right. So
yes.
shout out.
PK.
Malcolm and I believe Ryan. Funny
Yes.
Right.
enough,
Right.
Three of them.
years ago when I used to work in the downtown quarter, I don't remember which Subban brother. I know it wasn't PK, but I remember there was one of the younger brothers going into the draft and people were just talking to him while they're on the bus. So I got 2 seconds with them. I'm like, hey, honestly, I really see what your family is doing. Go into that NHL draft and just kill it. Your name is already great. Make a name for yourself and understand we're all proud of you.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was a
Exactly.
nice moment.
No, that's
Nice.
great. Another Black family, and they're historic too. And their father, if you watch Soul and Ice, they're in it, and their parents talk about what their kids went through. You know what I mean? So,
Ironically enough, the other day I went to the bookstore and I picked up a book on PK, him and his
no
dad. Basically, how we
way.
did it.
Look at
Love
that.
that. Yo,
So let's give them
plug
a
the
plug for
book.
those who can't see.
How we
It's
do it.
How We Did It by Carl
Sorry, did it.
Subban. That's okay. It's the book's called How We Did It
Ignore
by
Nelly J.
Carl Subban.
Ignore Nelly J.
His
I have no
father.
behavior. I'm like, how we do it? I'm like, I just assume how we do it, but no, how we did it.
Interesting thing. I wanted to just highlight 3 more players. I mean,
Of course.
we had Jerome and Ginla that
Right.
won a medal for Canada.
Yes.
PK Subban also did it.
Yeah.
I know Anson Carter won a world championship for Canada. He actually scored the game winner. Mr. Dude with the dreadlocks and the helmet.
Yes,
So,
Of course.
No, it's just credible. And unfortunately, the Team Canada for the men's side, they lost in the quarterfinals against Switzerland, I believe. So that was kind of unfortunate. But the women took home gold. So, I mean, we got enough queens in the North just carrying the sports. And they say women's sports is dead. No. Women's sports in Canada is litas. So big up the Nurse sisters. Big them up. And, of course, their brother. Darnell as well. big up to Darnell as well. Big him up. But yeah, I know I thought the interesting story to kind of do a quick intro on. So Faheem, let's get into some hot topics, brother.
All right. So we just entered the second half of the NBA season. A little break. The All-Star break's coming up. I guess what I'd just like to get some feedback in regards to second half of the season. You know, some trades happened. And it's a tale of 2 seasons, right? So now we're going to the final push, playoffs. So I want to get your feedback in regards to any teams that have made changes that you think we should keep an eye on, and just your thoughts in regards to where we're going with the NBA. So I'll go with you first, Gio.
What I'll definitely say is the trade between, I believe, the Pelicans and the Trailblazers was definitely key because with McCallum going over, you can tell his style hasn't changed. He's still putting in buckets like crazy. So I honestly definitely see them doing something dangerous second half of the season going in because remember, the fire is hot. And on top of that, too, remember, Norm Powell, former Raptor, even going to the Clippers. Yes, he has an injury right now. The beautiful thing about it is it's non-surgical. So, you know, he just has to wait for it to heal. And honestly, with Kawhi coming back, there's no timetable surge. Like, things are going to happen in LA. Like, again, obviously, Toronto has an amazing backroom staff. The way they've created things is like the Spurs back in the day. So you can definitely see that teams are basically rushing to basically take pieces from the Raptors, even whether it be old or new. Yes, Ibaka's not in LA anymore. I believe Ibaka went to
The Bucks.
the Milwaukee
Milwaukee.
Bucks.
Yep.
Yes. So I can definitely see teams like that definitely making strides in the second half. You know what? I think the Lakers might probably get in with a playing game. It's possible. I mean, you can tell right now, like, they're very wounded, but when you have a leader like LeBron James, and especially what he did last night to take over the fourth, like, it was crazy. So, I mean, yes, the Lakers are wounded, but don't count them out. But don't forget the Brooklyn Nets too, because they've loaded up. Yes, unfortunately, James Harden left and went to the Sixers, but the fact of the matter is that you have to have a guy in your system that's willing to play for you. Yeah, he's going to put up the points and all that stuff, but it's difficult when you really don't have that chemistry. Yes, the whole Kyrie Irving thing, let's not, choose sides, but the fact of the matter is you need to win and you need to do what it does. I mean, even with bringing in Mr. doesn't know how to shoot a three, no disrespect to him.
Ben Simmons?
Yes, Ben Simmons.
Say his name, man. Say his name.
Yes.
Yes, Benny Simmons. Let's put it that way. Benny Simmons, I would say it definitely is going to rejuvenate his career. Sometimes, I mean, we're human beings, right? Sometimes you need a change of scenery. So maybe that could definitely help benefit him. And having KD and Kyrie Irving, both veterans, help him out. Because remember, these guys have won championships. So you know what? Who knows? Maybe they can just give him some of that championship DNA.
Janelle, I'll let you hop in.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only teams in the East that I'm going to be watching closely, I would say, is Boston. I think they're going to do a push after the All-Star break. I think Jalen and Jason are figuring it out. Them picking up Derek White. And they're just clicking a lot better. Like, I think they're now in the zone. And they're kind of like the Raptors. They got hot at the right time. Their last 10 is 9-1. And they're not playing bad teams. They're playing good teams, too. So I think Boston kind of concerns me a little bit. I will be looking at the Hawks because I think Trae's going to get hot at the right time. I think the top 10 teams we see right now, guys, in the East, that will be the top 10. But when it comes to standings, I'm not sure what that's going to look like.
Or the fan, right?
But I think the top 10 we see now, that's it. Like Hawks, Wizards is out, Knicks, Pace, like those guys are not.
Pacers,
no.
Pistons,
they're all
Orlando,
gone. So
right?
I think the top 10 is set. It's just now in the numbers. And I think Boston, Raptors, Nets, Hornets, Hawks, like so even Sixers, even like anyone could lose any night. I realize in the East, like it's so up and down. So this can change easily in the next 20 games. So that's why I feel like, but I think this Boston is clicked at the right time. The Sixers lost their depth to me. They lost, like, if you watch the last couple of games without Seth Curry and Andre Drummond, when Embiid's not on the floor and there's no Harden, they look like, I don't know. It's like, I think Seth Curry was a huge, huge error on their part. I don't know if Daryl Morey didn't think he was valuable, but I think Seth Curry had that vet presence. He's always a solid, like he can drop 20 any night, right? And he's doing that now with Brooklyn. And Brooklyn's are winning games. And I'm like, did y'all really want to get rid of Seth Curry? Andre Drummond, 19, 15 rebounds. Like, I think what they did was not the best. So, but however, Harden, great player, of course, offensive phenom, but he isn't the same Harden as from back in the day, right? Like this year, we noticed that he's not the same. So people keep harping on the James Harden, the superstar. He's not that anymore. So I'm like, them getting Harden, I don't know, but maybe it's because Embiid is there. That might make him feel less pressured. We'll see. But I'm not convinced that having Harden, they're guaranteed contender. I'm not on that train yet. But I do think Brooklyn got better. And I think if you add Kevin Durant with this team without Kyrie, they're still scary. So imagine adding Kyrie in away games. It's going to be a problem. In the Western Conference, the one team I'm looking out for is Dallas. Lord, Luka. This kid, like he should be scaring a lot of people in the West. I think they picked up Spencer Dinwiddie. They picked up, what's his name on Washington? Spencer Dinwiddie, and they picked up Berton, right? And I think those two guys off the bench is going to be crucial for them because Spencer, like he can get a bucket, right? He won't need Luka to help him out. And so I think adding more offensive power and Bertans, the defensive end, I think it's going to help them because Bertans can also score a 3 from any moment as well. And I think Luka needed shooters around him because when he's doubled or tired, it's been a playoff run, passing it out to Spencer Dinwiddie or Bertans is going to help him out. So I think those are really good pickups for them. I also want to keep an eye out on freaking the Clippers. So Clippers and Nuggets. Like, these are two teams that have so much injury, but they're competitive. You cannot expect a W from the Nuggets or the Clippers. And because these guys have nothing to lose and nothing to prove, they scare me, Faheem, because at the end of the day, you play them and they're playing this hot and this aggressive, then what, right? Like, they don't care because the pressure's on y'all. The pressure is on Luka and Memphis and worse to win. They got no pressure. So teams like that kind of scare me because they play hard every night because they want to embarrass you. So I think the Clippers and Nuggets could be disruptors in the Western Conference. And that's pretty much it for me.
Nice. That's solid. And let me just pick up. I like where you started with when you're saying about the Eastern Conference and how it's shaped up for the 1 through 10. I think, you're completely right. Where I see this is Brooklyn. It's right now, as of the All-Star break, they're hovering toward the middle to the bottom. That's going to probably work out to their advantage, especially since ideally they want to end up out of the top 4 because top 4 has home court advantage. Mm-hmm. They don't want home court advantage when they got Kyrie, who can only play road games. Mm-hmm. So that would definitely be a good position strategy for them. In the Eastern Conference also, I think let me clarify, Tristan Thompson. Has that been cleared? I heard rumors of it. Is he actually a Chicago Bull?
So so they picked him up yesterday.
Perfect. Okay, so that in itself, I think Chicago coming in is on that sleeper kind of contender conversation. Not only is their record showing it, but they're playing, their personnel, they're kind of built for the playoffs. Mm-hmm. They were missing Pat Williams, which is a big key for them rebounding because Vucevic ideally is not really a banging big man. So picking up someone like Tristan Thompson, who can now have, imagine having this combination where you have Tristan Thompson, who knows his job, just get in there, be a presence and rebound, playing along with Vucevic, someone who can be on the inside, but also pass the ball a bit and stretch the floor to the 3. Their front court just got that much stronger, adding DeMar DeRozan in that mix. So Chicago, I think just that little piece they're getting, Thompson, definitely upgraded them quite a bit. And last team in the East, I think, kind of slept on is Milwaukee. Milwaukee made just one major move, I guess, and it's not really major in some cases, but picking up Serge Ibaka is coming off the bench for Milwaukee could prove to be a playoff recipe for success. You have their front court of being Giannis, a champion, Brook Lopez, a champion, Bobby Portis, a champion, and Serge Ibaka, a champion. When you have that kind of rotation of playoffs, when lineups tighten up. They tighten up, and you don't want to mess around with that kind of rebounding and also experience in those situations. So outside of that, I think the way things shape up in the Eastern Conference is very interesting. I'm just going to go lastly, touch upon what you mentioned in regards to on the Western Conference with Dallas. You're right. Dinwiddie going to help them. Bertans is going to help them. Only thing with Bertans is when he signed with Washington, he was shooting the ball really well. Yeah. In Washington, it just was not working. He was not shooting at the level that we were used to him shooting the 3 at. Now, Gio, you mentioned where sometimes you're a person's situation, change of scenery, play better. So it's a good thing that with Bertans, it hasn't really killed his confidence because he's only been in Washington for half a season. So now he gets the second half season, kind of hit the reset button. And if he can stretch the floor for Luka, that I think would be an amazing move. And lastly, in the Western Conference, a team to watch is, I'd have to say, believe it or not, say the Pelicans. I think, Gio, you mentioned it, CJ, picking up him is key. Keep in mind also, they were missing Brandon Ingram for quite a bit of games early out. He's got his rhythm. He's won a player of the month, or was it? No, I think was it player of the week or player of the month? Anybody just recently when Pascal and him won it, was it for the month or was it for the week? Do you guys know?
I think that was
for the week.
For the week. Okay, cool, cool. But so he's surging at the right time, getting that rhythm back and being the Brandon we know. Half a season with a healthy Brandon Ingram, and also CJ McCollum in the mix also. we know Zion's out, so that's no comfort there. But I still think getting them on the same page, the Pelicans could maybe sneak in, because right now it looks like Portland's in there, in their top 10. And I think of Portland and New Orleans, I kind of trust New Orleans more. I'll end there.
Yeah, it's interesting because actually, so you mentioned the Pelicans, right? Because I think right now are they at 11?
Yes, just out of it, right?
Yeah,
because out of the 10th spot.
Because that's the thing about the Lakers, and my issue with the Lakers is that people are hunting them, right? And teams got better, and they didn't do anything in the trade deadline, right? And actually they lost 80 for 2 weeks because he had that ankle sprain. So yeah, I just don't know. I think Trailblazers, Pelicans, those guys are close enough to push them out, because the Pelicans, I'm not sure how their schedule's like, but we played them and they freaking tore us up because they had their best game ever against the Raptors the other day. But if the Lakers don't keep it up, they might miss out. I think Trailblazers is only 3 games away from them. Pelicans, if they do a push, like legit, Faheem and Gio, if any team in the Western Conference has a hot run, like a 7-game or 6-game run, that would shift the entire division.
Like a hot 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, hot 2-3 weeks. That's all they need. And then that's it. Lakers are out, right?
Yeah.
So they better pray that other teams like Pelicans, Trailblazers don't get hot. Because if they do at the right time, and guys, Trailblazers have been winning and beating teams. Like, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, Nurk, like it's insane. So again, I think it's Anthony Simons. From Portland. Yeah, like just these guys are, again, teams like that have nothing to lose, y'all. They got nothing to lose. They know they're not in the running, they're not contenders. All they care is to embarrass you. I just want to embarrass you. So if I'm LeBron the Lakers, I better not get comfortable. I better keep like pushing myself, because
last thing in regards to Lakers, real quick. Anthony Davis going into the All-Star break, twist his ankle, nothing major, he'll be back in a few weeks, no big deal. But as we know his history, come the playoffs, do you think we'll have, just throwing it out there, a healthy Anthony Davis come this playoffs? Gio, you're going with no.
No, I don't think so.
I have glass ankles.
Right.
And honestly, to your point, Gio, like big up to Dr. Randy on Clubhouse. He was saying the other day, he was saying this in the room. Shout out to the Lakers fan club room on Clubhouse as well. He was saying that athletes like Anthony Davis should be doing balancing, and like, I guess there's a way. So balancing helps improve like stability, and also promotes the way you land. So what he was saying is that, and don't come from wrong, but he said AD doesn't know how to land or fall properly. That's why when he falls, he gets injured, right? Because what he said, that even the injury that he did, that was all because of him. He has no clue how to land properly when he's falling down. And that comes with So, but keep in mind, I was told that he was only 6 feet and he grew like 10 inches within a short span of time, and never really got used to the height difference. So, but they're saying there are things that he can do though to improve that, right? So, and these things that he's saying, of course, the Lakers team is aware, and Anthony Davis is aware. But my issue is that why is he not doing these things?
I have a suggestion, a very quick suggestion. In addition to what the doctors are saying, drink milk.
You're such a jerk. Hold up. Oat milk, coconut milk, almond milk, soy milk, or regular milk. Which one, right? Because there's enough milk out there now.
Or condensed milk.
Lot of mercy. Campbell's milk, cat milk. Lot of mercy.
All right, so Nelly J, you want to go to For the Culture?
For the culture, we like to highlight individuals for the culture. And today, we get to highlight Ghana #1 Blogga, established in 2008. Award-winning blogger, FYI, as well, Faheem, Mr. Gio Mauro. How are you?
I'm great. That was a great introduction.
Yeah, try a thing. So first of all, because I'm also by Faheem that I can't announce names properly. So is your last name, is it Mauro or Mauro? I don't want to say it wrong.
Mauro.
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 See, I was kind of okay. I was right. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so, it sounds Italian. No,
yeah, it actually is.
It is. Okay.
That's Italian. No, but Gio, so folks who don't know, Faheem, this guy is like pretty big, like really big. Like he has over
very
50,
big.
Like over 50K people that follow him on Facebook, thousands on Twitter, thousands on Instagram. Like he is the voice of the people. And so we're so happy to highlight you for the culture, because someone like you put in the work every single day to inform, and also you're like a Black voice in a space where we don't get enough Black voices. So just big up to you and your work. But just out of curiosity, what made you want to become a blogger? Back in 2008, back then blogging wasn't really a thing yet. It is now, but back in 2008, it was just kind of coming out the woodwork. So how did you want to, what happened in your life to say, you know what, I got to start this blog for my people?
First things first, when I became a blogger, I didn't know what it was. I was a blogger before a blogger. It was just one of those things where I said, let me just talk about my passion, which is for the Ghana national team and soccer. Actually, the reason why I actually started this journey is funny enough. It actually was born out of a broken heart. Like I was really hurt. And I said, you know what? The worst thing I can do is be depressed and basically end life. So I said, use that same energy that you're going to probably use to basically end your life or do very, very constructive stuff negatively to your life, and put it towards something that maybe people may like. So what I did notice is, obviously, again, my love for football. Remember, when we say football, UK football, because obviously
soccer,
North
soccer.
America.
Or actually not even UK, worldwide football.
Worldwide,
yes, exactly.
Worldwide, yeah.
I mean, the Super Bowl was on Sunday. So
true.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So what I realized was there was no area that had set information when it comes to the Ghana national team in terms of how many Ghanaians are playing worldwide, which teams they play for. And on top of that, scheduling wise of when these players play, and even down to the point where when the national team plays. And I got really annoyed. So I said, you know what? Let me organize things, because even if you look at the website, no disrespect to children, but it didn't look like a site that somebody would want to go to. Even the pictures were off. Like you would see pictures of players 10 years before, and you're just like, you couldn't even recognize the player. So I said, let me get into an area nobody's paying attention to. Let me try a thing. I'm not trying to be anybody, but let me just push this through. So that's how, this all came about. It was weird. Like when somebody called me blogger, I'm like, what are you talking about? That makes no sense to me. And then somebody actually gave me that name, Ghana's #1 blogger. And then that's when I said, let me start rebranding, because when you say Ghana's #1 blogger, people are kind of thrown off. Like, okay, that means you only rep Ghana. So because of that, in January, that's when I rebranded to No.1 Blogga.
No.1 Blogga. Love it. Love it.
And right now, there's no No.1 Blogga out there.
Nope, not one.
Nope. I'm
the original.
The original one, yes.
Okay.
Oh my
like
gosh.
That.
So question for you, because you mentioned something about, it was kind of created from pain. And I think a lot of people, especially now with this inflation, what's going on, there are people out there that are in pain. So what was something that kind of triggered you to say, you know what, I got to turn this pain into something productive? Like, was it a song you listened to? Was it like, were you like what helps you get through that, or to decide to do this journey?
Honestly, I would definitely say it's the strength of my parents. My parents were definitely the type of people that are just like, yo, stuff happens. Understand the background we came from. We came from Ghana. It wasn't easy for us. So if you're going to sit here and cry over a girl, that's not good. Put it into something. Because remember, that same girl will either come back to you or she'll probably feel away. Don't let what others' actions towards you ruin your life. You got to do something.
Love that. That's so beautiful.
And a lot of artists do take, their pain and put it to some form of art. Like you hear someone goes through maybe something, and, a rapper, singer will put it in song, someone, maybe a painter will put it on canvas. So I totally respect you taking that and going an untraditional route, I'd have to say. What at that time when you say you're a blogger before you actually knew what a blog was, what was the state in 2008 of what we know now is blogging? Like, what did you do? Did you, you obviously went to a computer? Like, just walk us through that.
To be honest, it was a clean slate. There was literally no kind of template you could have looked at. Literally, I just created a Facebook page, and that's how my journey began. That's all it was. Like,
nice.
I didn't think of anything. Like, you see how everybody looks at templates now? Like, I realized if I had to follow a template, I would have never been a blogger. It's just go in and do what you got to do.
Yeah. And sometimes like simplicity and it's just easier than following, a whole, like now there's blogging 101, there's courses you can take. It's a whole business now, blogging. But no, I mean, 51,000 people clearly follow you, they like you, and over that, I should say now, but it's just great that, we can highlight more of this. Faheem, any last questions for Gio?
Yeah. So you've started, so you're in Toronto, right? And content has to do with over in Ghana, right? What, in regards to your connections that you have from Toronto, the connection from Toronto to Ghana, can you just kind of describe that? Because I think, you being over here would put you in, maybe give you a different experience that you could bring to the table. How was that received? And, what exactly have you done in helping that?
You know what's funny? In terms of the connection of Ghana, to be brutally honest, a lot of my followers think I live in Ghana. That's the funny thing. The way the content comes across, like every 2 seconds, people think that I'm in Ghana, which is not the case. It's just, I think it was something that was, I would say, bred in me from like when I was a young age. Again, like English is my first language. My second language is Cree, but my parents taught me this language by the age of 5, and that's where I really gained a lot of my strength. So to the point where a lot of people weren't aware that I could speak the language, because every time they heard me speak, they would think, oh, you only know how to speak English, because obviously the way you pronounce things in English, and then when you switch over for a second, and that's another thing also, I taught myself pronunciation and tonation in terms of how to pronounce things in Cree versus pronouncing things in English, even all the way to even, speaking Spanish. Obviously, somebody in the soccer world, his name is Chicharito, but obviously with the accent, I'll be like Chicharito. And that's what I would even do with that. And I think what is most important to me is that I think it keeps it very valid. It keeps it very authentic. And with that, because another thing, I've been going to Ghana since the age of 9. So it's like I'm deeply bred in the culture. I know the culture and all that stuff. And the thing is, I think it's very special to me because it's this one thing I think we all know. When you're born outside a certain country, a lot of people don't look at you as one of them.
Right. And that's why I asked the question. Right.
Okay. But people fail to realize there's no difference between us. I would say the only difference between somebody that is born within a country and outside of a country is that they have more opportunities. I think that's the only difference, because I remember always going to Ghana, I would always be hanging out with my cousins and my cousins' friends. And even if they're playing soccer, I'd always make sure that I'd buy a box of water and just enjoy it. And they look at me like, oh, you're different. I'm like, no, I'm just like one of y'all. Just because I sound like this, don't get it twisted. I'm one of y'all.
Right.
Just an accent.
So that connection was very important to me, to the point where it just naturally flowed through my blogging, to the point where I started with sports, but I ended up moving into the scene of entertainment and music, because I realized that that was also important too, because when you're only talking sports, it only shows you one facet of the culture. But when you start showing the music and all that stuff, I think it allows people to have, one, an appreciation for their own culture, but also an appreciation for your culture, to the point where even one more thing is, in December, there's always big things going on in Ghana. And the thing is, I'm always putting out promotion. And I've been doing this for years. I think I started 2018. to the point where people call me when they're there. They're like, yo, I'm in Ghana. Where do I need to go? And I will send them a list of things and venues to go. And truth to be known, people are going to be shocked, but I'm going to say this. One, I've never been to a club in Ghana. Two, I've never really done the Ghana in December move because I feel like it's overcrowded and all this stuff. And it's just, to me, I want to enjoy the true essence of Ghana. No disrespect to everybody, but it's just, I think it's just too much. I want to enjoy the real essence of Ghana. That's what it is for me.
No. I love that. I love that. It's funny because that's the thing about, you always reconnecting. And I think your blog is kind of like a celebration of the fact that it's a culture that people don't really, I think a lot of people in North America, they think of Africa, they think of these countries as, always the worst, right? Because of what the media portrays, but you're bringing color, you're bringing a color commentary of your country and the people and the music and the vibes, right? The energy. Because when I see your blog, I think of I feel like I'm learning your culture. I'm learning about the people and what they like, what they don't like. So I think that's really cool about that. It's really cool.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Although, yes, there's a lot of Afro beats on there. Guys, I'm not discriminatory. I do have my soca with the bungee garlands, the fayans, and all that stuff. We got the reggae and dancehall. So guys, don't think I'm just one-centered.
But
this
you know
is
what?
really a whole thing coming together.
But what's crazy in Trinidad, but in Carnival now, they play lots of Afro beats. Like in Carnival
impressive.
On the road, you think, they're playing Afro beats, they're playing everything. And it's they're just showing how we're all so much connected and a lot of Africans come to Trinidad for Carnival as well. Like you say Ghana, like what? You're like, is Ghana here? Like Nigeria,
Right?
those countries are coming out heavy. So I just think it's beautiful to see, growing up, my dad is African Nigerian, my mom is Trini. So growing up in the Caribbean, I felt like I was never really Trini because my dad was Nigerian. And then I didn't think I was really Nigerian because because mom was Trini. And then I'm not really Canadian because I wasn't born here. So I never felt like I fit into any place ever. And then when I got older, I see people that are African dating people from the Caribbean. I'm like, okay, so now it's good. Because growing up, I was what are you for? I thought I was an outcast, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just happy now. I'm seeing a huge marriage between Caribbean and Afro cultures coming together. And it's really beautiful, to be honest. It really is.
And to also speak on your point, not to cut you off, I think what's also beautiful is a lot of people also fail to realize is that Caribbeans and Africans were close. But the thing is, it's just the media portrays it in the wrong way. What I will say is based on two things. It's not just the music. It's also, if you compare the foods, a lot of the foods are the same. On top of that too, Caribbeans do have something called sorrel. It's obviously from a hibiscus plant, or people would say hibiscus.
Yeah.
Funny enough, actually in Ghana, we do have the same thing, but it's actually called sobolo. So also with that, it's very impressive because another thing is people don't know that if you look at cultural history with obviously Jamaica, Trinidad, I'm not leaving the other Caribbean countries out, Antigua and all that. If you look at a lot of their constitutions and a lot of how these countries came about, there's a lot of connections. Like even if you go check in terms of history of Trinidad, the Constitution was actually made with Ghana. So the thing is, all we really need to do is go back deep in our roots. And we're actually really not that different. It's just we need to get away from that social media stuff. And you know what? If we need to relate through the music and through the food, where we can actually break down things and actually realize deep down, we love each other and we know what we want. But we just gotta go back and really look through it and really see that, you know what? Africans and Caribbeans, we've always been this close. But it's just, who and the people that tried to separate us. So it's
true.
great that Afrobeats is actually doing what it needs to do. Yes, it's the exciting part, but also I think now what they also need to do is put the history slowly through the Afrobeats.
Agreed. Amazing. Whew. What a great for the culture, man. Honestly, Gio, just so happy to have you on the podcast, for real. What you're doing, keep on doing it. I think we need more and more people that are doing it for the culture and who actually enjoy what they're doing and really feeding us, right? Because sometimes, honestly, I don't even go on the other people media them, I go to my friends' pages. I find news through other means, but because it's refreshing and the voices, you know, are like your own. So honestly, like, you've been doing this, like, you're a vet. So we just appreciate you for being on the podcast today, bro.
Thank you.
No
Much
doubt.
appreciated.
No doubt. All right, so you want to go to That's Absurd?
That's absurd for him, bro. What was absurd this week? What was absurd?
The NHL team, Arizona Coyotes.
The who? What?
Hockey in Arizona. It's been there for almost 20 years.
Absolutely.
So what they're doing is into the next to 2024, 2025, they need to find a new arena. So what they've done in the meanwhile is they're playing in a venue that they're sharing with ASU, Arizona State University, and they're going to have professional hockey played in an arena of 5,000 people. So this arena is pretty much lower bowl hockey, like, not saying the quality, but if you go to arena, 5,000 seats is maybe OHL, minor league hockey. To have an NHL team playing for 2 seasons in a minor league arena just seems so absurd. It's never happened before.
Okay. My first question is, what, like, you know, the Raptors and the Leafs, Maple Leafs, they play in the same building. So why couldn't they do the same thing? Like, I don't understand.
So the building that they're in before, it was a multi-purpose building that they're building, and they need to find a temporary one. So they don't have, they're tearing down the old one.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying the Phoenix Suns has a building. They play in Phoenix, right? So in Arizona. So my thing is that, why not, like, coordinate with them and say, hey, let's whatever, unless these owners are being damn cheap. And by the way, I think they're the only minority owners in the NHL. So it looks kind of ghetto. Gio, your thoughts on this, Gio? Your thoughts on this, Lord?
To me, the first question that really comes across is obviously who's fitting the bill. You can definitely tell the organization, Phoenix Coyotes, is obviously footing the bill. But also, then again, like, a spectator setting of 5,000 seats temporarily, like, you're basically going to use up a space for what? Because even I decided to even read up on this to the weird point that it's even to the point where they say that because they're sharing with Arizona State University, there are certain areas, locker rooms, and all that stuff that they can't use because of NCAA policy. So they can't be in the areas of the collegiate team. And I honestly, ironically enough, I know you guys know this. James Harden went to Arizona State University. Even,
of course he did.
Yeah.
Even his best friend from Toronto by the name of Entria Tuakine. I want to give a big shout out to him, man. Mr. Tweedy, Mr. Basketball. You know, if you don't, it ain't right, man. Toronto, we got to shout each other out. Also,
I do have sorry, Gio, I got to ask. Is his IG Noir?
Yes, that's him. Exactly.
That's him.
Yep.
Yo, we're going to have to talk. We have to definitely.
You guys need to
definitely got to tap in with him 100%.
Let me know if you guys want me to make the connection.
Enough said.
That being said, you know, I had to shout out Toronto because it's not fair. I mean, we put it this way: we're all we got. So if you don't shout out each other, it ain't right.
Thank you.
That's right.
But that being said, when I look at this whole situation, it really sounds like crap. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. 5,000 seat capacity for what? And even when I'm looking at everything, nothing just makes sense at all. Like, you could sit here and read articles for days and you're just like, you know, what's the point? Like, why waste money for a temporary venue? Because let's be honest, the one thing that I want to basically end my argument with is, are they really building a temporary facility to launder money or do something with the money?
Oh, Lord.
Or is it just a situation of they just need a so-called venue right now for the meantime? I mean, a lot of people don't want to touch those things, but you got to think about these things, because why are you guys throwing unnecessary money away? And especially in times of
it makes no sense. It makes
Let
no
me
sense.
piggyback off of this, because you're right. We are in a pandemic still.
In an inflation.
Guess,
in
right?
an inflation phase.
Inflation.
Right?
Or 20% apparently.
You know, we're not Qatar, you know, where they just build up a 50,000 seat arena just for one, you know, UFC or whatever venue. and they have the luxury as, oh, the event's done, let's tear it down and build another one. So it is kind of odd. Now, mind you, maybe give them some grace here, where yes, it's 5,000 seats, yes, it's temporary. Even after they leave, possibly you can use that 5,000 seat arena for maybe minor league basketball,
for the little league hockey tournament that they're gonna have there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So,
but honestly, Faheem, like if you look up their average, the average attendees, attendance for those games, guess how much it is?
So hold on. Average attendance. Let me take a guess. Say I'm gonna go with 16,000.
Okay. So that was last year. Last year,
Hold on.
okay.
Give Gio a shot. Give Gio a shot.
Gio, your thoughts?
Average? You gotta look at the market. I don't have a figure, but let's be honest. Who's really watching
in Arizona?
It's really
Fair
hot.
Fair enough.
They're not a big hockey market. Let's be brutally honest.
All right. Okay, hold on. By Gio,
I would say 10K.
Okay, you got me second guessing. I was 16. I'm going with 15.5.
Okay, so in 2018-19 they had 18,000.
18.
And for the season total they had 18,000. And then in 2019 they had 14,605. And that was of course COVID 2020. But that's the thing about like this entire situation. It's weird because they get pretty good numbers. So they're going to lose 10,000 worth of folks paying like money, right? Like, I just, to kind of keep it like kind of stats, I'm seeing like the lowest attendance per game for teams in terms of this season thus far is the actual Ottawa. They have only 6,800, and they're small compared to a Phoenix or Arizona. So then the day it's just like they're gonna lose money by doing this. Like they're actually in the middle of the pack, I think, as well for attendance. So losing 10,000 worth of entry costs, people buying concessions, 50-50, like losing a lot of money because they don't want to work with I think the issue, and Faheem, I think is because they didn't want to rent a different place that will cost more money. So they said, you know what, let's rent the smaller place, probably charge a whole bunch of money. Remember, it's 5,000 seats. So they're probably going to double or triple the cost and inflate the crap out of it, and just for a regular college or university type state thing. So
keep in mind also, though, that's going to, on the flip side, it's going to be a good fan experience. Imagine seeing an NHL game within a matter of feet, because even if you're on the top row of 5,000 seat arena, you're going to be able to close enough to see that their numbers, and not forget their numbers. Little things that's stitched on their jerseys, like so close, right? So I mean, but it's just kind of absurd to think that an NHL franchise is playing in a 5,000 seat arena. Kind of absurd. Yeah, definitely.
And funny enough, I don't know if you guys know this. The team was actually told to vacate the facility, which is, I think, Gila River Arena, by June 30th. So they need to get on things like ASAP.
Or they get evicted.
Yeah. Well,
exactly.
The cool thing is that at least the season's going to be done for them. Because are they a top team in the NHL? I don't think so. So by June 30th, they'll be able to vacate. But that just sucks that, imagine you're like a season ticket holder and you have tickets for season tickets, and now it's like, oops, not anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know. Right? They're losing a lot of money. It's weird. It's weird.
Nice. All right. So, you know what? Let's put this episode in the books.
Y'all, that was episode 79. Nah. So, Gio, we'd like to give our guests a chance to do a special shout out. So, the floor is yours.
I definitely want to give a special shout out to my followers. I don't really call them followers. I call them members, because I feel like when you say following and all that stuff, it doesn't give the necessary respect to the people that are a part of the experience, because let's be honest, it's because of their numbers you are where you are. I remember starting at 0 and thinking that this thing was never going to grow, and now look at it, just the influence of people that share my works, that even tell people out on the street. Like, it means a lot. I remember even meeting Faheem from way back in the day.
Way
Those
back.
days we will not mention where. But what I definitely will say is that
Sorry.
to see him right now doing what he's doing, it means a lot. And it's just like the fact that we can even connect. Guys, truly understand that networking is an amazing thing, because you don't know what networking can take you and lead you to, because it can turn into a situation where you're in specific places and somebody can turn around and be like, yeah, I remember that person from back in the day, and and just because of that naturally organic connection, you guys are here. So I want to give a big shout out to the Good Rookies podcast once again. I want to give a big shout out to both hosts. You guys are doing an amazing job. And everybody worldwide who follows me. I want to give a shout out to Toronto, obviously. Give a shout out to Canada. Shout out to USA. Shout out to South Central, where my family's from. You already know what it is, man. Kumasi, Kumerica. You already know, man. The Ghana drill scene is going crazy right now. Shout out to the Ghana Pop Smoke and everybody. And you know what it is, man. Thank you guys for having me on once again. And I really appreciate you guys. And keep doing what you guys are doing, because honestly, this is definitely for the culture. And honestly, thank you for having me once again.
Oh my gosh, what a shout out. We gotta clip that for you, man. Whew, that was a whole that's so inspiring. It's inspiring, Janelle. Inspiring. Lord have mercy. But first of all, Gio, I want to shout you out for coming on the podcast, taking the time. You could have been doing anything right now, but you took the last hour to chop it up with us about sports, about life, being vulnerable. I love seeing Black men talk about what they've been through, because I think that's how we can grow as people, is sharing those low moments and how we got out of it. Because someone right now could be going through that. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like being human, being real is what people like you and connect with you, Gio. So keep doing what you're doing, brother. For real, for real. I also want to do a big shout out to the Ingram family. Kenny Ingram passed away at 27. He played for the Honey Badgers in CBL, but he passed away this week in Bahrain at 27. So one of a Brampton man, Canadian basketball player. And, my heart goes out to his family and his loved ones. So just want to pay some respects to him and his family. Next to you, Faheem.
Definitely. And actually, what I'll give Gio, because I know that was one of your images, so you're aware of Kenny Ingram with that. So I'll just give you a chance to really, over a few seconds, just weigh in on anything you have to say. Go ahead.
To be honest, I didn't know Kenny Ingram. It was just more because, again, I'm involved with so many sports. I didn't come across him. I did come across him in terms of social media, because obviously he does have two brothers, and one of the brothers that I do know is Melvin Ingram.
Shout out to Melvin Ingram also. Exactly. He plays overseas. He's part of the national program also. He played in college. I can't believe college. It was Iowa State. I watched him at Iowa State. Shout out to Melvin Ingram. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, it's all good. I appreciate that, to get it in there. Also, too, I remember he was in the Humber College system. There was a lot of guys that I know that actually played basketball with him. And to me, what it is that even though it's not personal to me, I think, again, it's this Canada thing, it's this Toronto thing. I'm going to shout you out regardless. I just have this thing, even if you look at my blog, you don't have to be big or whatever. I just feel like everything needs to be noted. And, there's this old adage they always say, give your flowers and all that stuff. To me, regardless of what it is, I'm going to give everybody their flowers, because, again, I like to see people on the onset and build, not necessarily when you've made it. I want to see you in your infancy. So that's why, honestly, just so you guys know officially right here, rest in peace, Kenny Ingram, once again. My heart goes out to the family, but also I got to definitely give my flowers to the Good Rookies podcast too, because honestly, you guys do exceptional work, man. I got to give you.
Thank you.
Man, thank you. Much appreciated, man. So I just want to make my shout out very quick. And this is really, I guess, a testament to how, just having real relationships and making sure that you don't burn any in the future, how that can really help you. Because Gio, like you mentioned, we met each other back in the day. Just really, if you think of our interactions, was just nothing more than just, hey, we chopped it up. You know what I'm saying? But it's so nice that even those little interactions that we have, they're obviously memorable because it was long enough ago. But when I seen you on the scene doing the blogging, I was touched, you know. So I was like, okay, it's nice to see he's still pushing on, you know, doing something. Because sometimes, you know, you someone from the past and then, you know, they're no longer doing something. You know what I'm saying? So it's great to see that you're out here, not just doing something, but doing something for the community, and just being an inspiration in Toronto, where we have a large, even African, forget Ghana, African, you know, diaspora here. So very proud of what you're doing. Great to have you on here, and yeah, I'll just end there. But it's, you know, honestly, it's just great. It's great seeing you. Great having you on here, and we just want to keep promoting you. And I'm just glad that, you know, Good Rookies family. You know, you're part.
You're part of it now.
Family.
That's it.
Definitely.
That's it. We together. We together.
That's right.
We did it. And also, I want to make an announcement for him. Should we make an announcement right now for him? I think it's good to make an announcement now. Okay. I think we should, because I mean,
think you're running an audible because I have no idea. But go ahead. I'll
so we're gonna make an
announcement.
So your Good Rookies hosts, Faheem and Nelly J, have a partnership with a new channel on social media. That's right, y'all. We are partnering with Hoop Spaces on Twitter Spaces, y'all. And we're going to be hosting Raptors. Actually, I'm going to have Faheem quote it because he has the term for it, but we're going to be hosting pretty much spaces on Twitter called Raptor Spaces. And it's going to be from the buzzer. From once that buzzer beats down, we'll be on Twitter with all the commentary. So bring all your hot takes, bring all of it. We want to see all the trash talking, everything, because the Raptor fans, we out here, and we want to have a space for our fellow Raptors community, because y'all be talking some crazy stuff about Raptors on Twitter. So we have to kind of go on there and regulate. Faheem, are you excited, brother? Your journey.
Am I ever? So I just want to say this is part of our Raptors package. Like we have, if you are a Raptors fan, you could, if you want the option of a live watch party while, you know, watching the game and getting it from the fans in the background, we're on a platform called Clubhouse for you, where it's a party, it's a vibe. And that's where Nelly J steps in and completely shuts it down for 3 hours during the game. And then we have the post game. After the game's done, you can just come over to Twitter. And we have on at Raptor Spaces. We're holding it down for the Raptor community on Twitter. And we're there from the Spaces. Thank you, Hoop Spaces. Shout out to Hoop Spaces.
Chris.
Shout out to Chris and Hoop Spaces.
Everybody there.
The most reputable basketball platform on social audio on the planet, because you're doing it on Twitter, the biggest stage.
Yeah.
So it's a big move, power move. And, you know, we got some things cooking up this year, and we just have to give thanks.
We're blessed. We're thankful. And
definitely,
it's crazy because someone was like, Janelle, like, we need your guys' expertise on Twitter. I'm like, what? Like, I didn't even think, like, you know, because, you know, we do what we do on Clubhouse, but they're like, yeah, you know, it'd be great if you guys can join us on Twitter. I'm like, what? Like, Faheem and I, we we talk the stuff normally amongst ourselves on a podcast or with our friends. So the fact that people really want to hear us on Twitter and hear our takes is kind of like, oh, snap, Faheem. I think people like us.
Guys,
so
honestly,
yeah, it's very humbling.
Congrats once again, honestly, because our Raptor space was definitely needed on Clubhouse. Because even when Faheem showed it to me, like, I was in shock. I was like, oh my gosh, now I can actually live out one of my dreams, being an ultimate Raptor fan, from remembering Zan Tabak, Damon Stoudemire, Joe Dog, Oliver Miller, Chauncey Billups.
Yeah,
I mean, the names are endless. Amir Johnson. Like, I've been a Raptor fan since then. The Sky Dome, even beating MJ at the Dome. So you know, like,
I remember them days. Yep.
That's a big deal to me.
No, but I appreciate you, Gio.
And having Leonard before Kawhi Leonard, but let's leave it there.
No, but it's great, because I think that's something that we miss. You know, sometimes the Raptor fans, like, especially now that with this COVID thing and we're all been separated, I think, you know, coming together, it kind of brings some sanity to your day. You know, having a busy day, come and talk sports and just kick it and laugh with people that you don't know. But I feel like we built a really strong community on the Raptors fan club. People, like, we're like all family. We know each other's quirks and different things. It's just jokes now. So I feel like if we're gonna have that same energy on Twitter, I mean, why not? So
that's right.
It's gonna be great.
For anyone who has Twitter, because pretty much everyone has it on their phone, Twitter's mainly known for text, tweets. Now they're expanding into spaces, audio. So on your phone, you just go to Twitter, open it up. You'll see on the home bar, they actually make it wherever it's very easy to find spaces. There's a symbol. It's like 4 dots looking like a baseball diamond right in the middle of your phone. You cannot miss it if you open the Twitter app. Just click on that and you'll have a row of spaces of different audio that you can go to opposed to just tweets. Same thing if you're going to make a tweet. It gives you an option now on the Twitter app where, you know, it has tweets, but you can also click on spaces and you can get there also. So Twitter's doing an excellent job of making spaces visible for audio, and it's not just for text. I just want to land that there just for people who want to find us, make it easy for you for the post game.
No, and guys, last but not least, please let me know, because obviously this is not a one-off. I want to definitely do a press release for the Good Rookies podcast on my #1 Blogga. So send me some stuff so I can definitely put it, even if it's a picture and then probably like a quick audio or something, even if a piece from this, I definitely like to put it up there.
Yes, we'll definitely have that.
Not for
No, for sure. We definitely do clips and we post clips. We're going to highlight you for the culture on our page. So I could definitely send you all that content for sure.
Thank you so much.
All right. Awesome episode. Okay. So
episode 79. Ooh, y'all, if you had a good time, you enjoyed yourself, please tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. And of course, like, subscribe. That's all we ask for. Faheem.
Not much. You know, we're out there on all platforms. If you're looking for us, we're there if you need us, when you need us, all the time. We drop on Tuesdays, but take us in any day. We'd love to listen. That's Good Rookies Podcast, episode 79. And we out.
Peace.